Hey guys, Nuan here with Movie Slinger Reviews. Since there's no new movie releases these days and we are all stuck at home, I thought now would be a perfect time to look back at the past and dig up some old movies that the world forgot about. Beginning with Maggie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Abigail Breslin. The movie starts with a voicemail message from this girl telling her father not to come looking for her in the city.
Dad, I've gone to the city. Please don't come for me. There's a curfew here. Just keep them safe. I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh boy, there's a curfew going on in my country right now as I'm writing this, so the real world implications are very difficult to ignore. The movie sinks its teeth into you from the start and doesn't let go. So this is a zombie movie, but unlike anything you've seen before. For a start, it doesn't take place at the start of the outbreak, but rather focuses on the tail end of it. The society and government is still functioning. The outbreak is now under control, but at great cost to human lives. We can sort of piece together what's happening in the rest of the country by listening to the news on the radio as Wade, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, drives along empty roads and through deserted city streets. He finds his daughter Maggie at a hospital and learns that she has been bitten. And unlike your usual generic zombie movie, people don't turn immediately, nor do they turn in a few hours, not even a few days. It's a very slow and painfully drawn out process with multiple phases that could last more than 2 weeks. So Wade is actually allowed to take his daughter home as long as he follows the proper procedures like a scheduled medical checkup and of course the inevitable quarantine before she turns. Now at first I was thinking this is stupid. She's infected and she's gonna turn into a zombie. Why on earth would they let her just go home, right? But the more you watch the movie, the more you begin to understand that this society has learned to deal with the situation in this way. And infected people are still aware of what's going on, so you can't just immediately kill them. That would be inhumane. And of course, the authorities keep track of everyone infected, and if you missed the medical checkup, they come and take you by force. So instead of a zombie action movie, it's like watching somebody dealing with cancer, with their health slowly deteriorating and trying to make the most of their precious few days left on Earth with their loved ones. We know that Maggie is doomed right from the start, but the suspense comes from how is Wade and his wife going to deal with this? Is Wade going to give her up when the time is right? There's also Chekhov's shotgun hanging on the wall right there. Is he gonna use it? And because the filmmakers approach this in a she's dying from a sickness type of way, you really begin to sympathize with Maggie. She's a likable teenager, she enjoys reading books, she's got a great sense of humor, she has friends. You really don't want her to die and you begin to dread what's coming. And we can also understand why Wade hesitates to go through the proper procedures even when Maggie starts to show more and more disturbing symptoms. There she is laughing with her dad about his old beaten up pickup truck. She doesn't look like a zombie from a horror movie. There's some great father-daughter moments and you can really feel the strong bond between them. Arnold Schwarzenegger gives a very subdued and surprisingly good emotional performance. Abigail Breslin is really good as Maggie. This is director Henry Hobson's first feature film and he got these two performances out of it. This is probably Arnold's best dramatic work. I'm impressed. There's a lot of things that happen in the film that feel random at first, but it always has some kind of narrative payoff later. Wade and Maggie comes across some infected people in the woods, or Maggie goes out to spend a night out with her friends. Now, I'm not gonna spoil what happens in these situations, but it is through these interactions that we learn how other people in the town are dealing with their infected loved ones, and some not very successfully. There's obviously things like discrimination, which I'm sure we can all relate to on some level with the present climate. There's also rumors about the quarantine centers and what the authorities do to infected people. The filmmakers don't confirm or deny this stuff, but let me just say that some of these rumors really made my skin crawl. There's a debate raging about what the government policy should be with infected people, whether it's okay to let them go home. This is definitely not the focus of the movie, but I do wish we could have gotten more background into that stuff because it's fascinating. The cinematography is excellent. There's some beautifully haunting visuals here, and shots like this which really creeped me out. This is not a horror movie, but it has some sequences that slowly build tension and turns up the spooky factor. The final few minutes of the film have no dialogue, but I was biting my nails the whole time, wondering how this was going to end. And I loved that it wasn't some big action scene where Maggie turns into a zombie and starts attacking people and Wade has to hunt her down. It's much more nuanced, and when you see it, it really hits you. The music definitely added to this powerful emotional moment here. Conclusion. I am giving this a 9 out of 10 and a recommendation to stream it online. It's definitely one of the most emotional and, dare I say, relatable zombie movies ever made. The world feels closer to our own. There are no simple answers to solving the outbreak and its problems. It feels raw and real. If you're looking for a not-so-traditional zombie movie, then this is it. It's so much better than stuff like Resident Evil or 28 Days Later. And I hated that Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead thing. That was so lame. My opinion, the 3 best zombie movies are Shaun of the Dead, Cargo, and now Maggie. Watch these 3 and just forget about the rest of the garbage. So have you watched Maggie, and what did you think about it? I'm planning to make a few similar videos about other forgotten films. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.